Woo! Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Millennial Momentum podcast. Your host, Tommy Tahoe, Alaimo. I'm on a journey to have a better life. I want to make more money. I want to have better relationships. I want to be in better health. I want to move up the corporate ladder. I want to be a better reader and writer and person. So I know you do too. Thanks for following me on my journey. My passion is to help you get there, help myself get there. And it's through a lot of A/B testing and trial and error. So thanks for joining. Some people are on YouTube here watching this. All Monday podcasts are now on YouTube, if you don't know. Or on the podcast app, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher, tomalaimo.com, all that good stuff. So I want to give him a few things here. I'm at a hotel room here in Newton, Mass. for a work trip that does not stop the content train. When you don't have time, you just got to make time. So I'm here. I'm doing it. Got a quick one for you for a Monday hitter. First things first, I put out a quick little post on Instagram, Tommy Tahoe, about my July challenge. Try to do one thing a month. And I'm trying to be more, I'm putting it out there into the ether to be accountable, but one thing a month to try to either form a good habit, break a bad one. And lately I've been getting into the habit of hitting my fucking snooze alarm every day. Sometimes once, sometimes twice, sometimes three times. And I get up early. It's like 4:45, but by the time I get out of bed, maybe it's 5:15. It's like, what am I doing for 30 minutes there? So no snooze. If I hit the snooze, I'm sleeping on the floor the next day. Swear to fucking God. So I'm 8 for 8 so far. Hopefully by the time you hear this on Monday, it'll be 9 for 9. But hold me accountable. Ask me if I hit the fucking snooze. And I'll be sharing out on Instagram daily on my story if I hit it or not. So, and if I have to sleep on the floor, I'll show that too. But that's what's going on with me. I want to do a quick episode out here for the interns. I've been talking to a lot of you fellas and ladies that are in college that are trying to get some good experience this summer in the corporate world or wherever it may be, and asking for advice and things of that sort. So I figured I'd share a few of my 2 cents on that. When I was in high school and college, I taught tennis every summer, and for college for the first year or two, that's what I did. And going into my junior year, or going into my junior year, I had to get shoulder surgery, so I couldn't teach tennis. I randomly stumbled, although I don't think this is random, I think it's somewhat of fate, that I stumbled upon an ad for selling Cutco knives, vector marketing. A lot of people told me not to do that because, I'm going to go with a sling and drive around and sell knives, and it's a Ponzi scheme, and it's a pyramid scheme, it's a trap. But I did it, and, basically what I had to do is make a list of people I know, call them, say, I want to set an appointment in your kitchen to talk through knives and cutlery and kitchenware. And if I don't sell them, or if I sell them, either way, you get referrals. You try to get referrals at the end, and then you call those people and you try to get 10 to 20 referrals at each meeting. So then by the time you get to a certain point, you have just a notebook full of people you can call and email. So really just calling. So I did really well there. Number 7 in New England. Shout out to Cutco. It was a great experience. It was tough. It was really hard. It was real sales. And I had a few other internships, one at an insurance company and one at Tech Target, where I work now, where it was more database work. It was more kind of like, hey, let's give the intern something busy work or things that we don't want to do, versus really getting after it and making sales and bringing in revenue, which is what, as a salesperson, you want to do or get experience. So I got 4 ideas for you. If you're an intern, you're looking, or you're in an internship right now. Number 1 thing I would say before you get the job, and this counts for if you're getting one later in the year too. If you're getting one through the school year, the same thing applies. But it's such a unique time that you can just try shit. You don't have to. You think you want to be in finance or on Wall Street, or you want to get into marketing and you want to be at this crazy agency or something like that. You want to be the next Gary Vee. That's great, but just try shit. If you have any inkling of wanting to do something, this is the opportunity to try it. There's no risk in it. So go outside of your comfort zone. Go outside of the job all your friends are getting. You don't need to work with your roommate. Try something out. and give it a summer and give it 12 weeks and see if you like it or not. You might find out that you really do enjoy it. So people didn't think that, my mom certainly didn't think I'd be getting into sales until I started doing it and loved it and did well. So try something. If you are getting into sales, this is number 2. If you're getting into a sales gig, try to get some real experience. Ask them if you can make some calls, send some emails, get involved, get some touches going versus like database work, versus like PowerPoints or anything like that. And try to get as much real experience, because that's how you'll know. Once you get the door slung in your face and people hanging up on you, that's when you know if you're ready for a sales gig. So I guess the same would apply everywhere. 95% of internships, you're just doing busy work. You're not getting a real view of what it's like to be on Wall Street or have a real job. You're just kind of getting it through there. So try to find those exceptions where it might be less money, it might be a little weirder, but you're getting some real experience. Maybe at a smaller company, something like that, where they really need your help, versus a big company where it looks good on a resume, I guess, but you're not doing anything. The stories, when you interview for a real job, that's what's going to play. The stories, the experiences, the skills. So try that out. And if you're in that spot too, try to make opportunities happen. If you have an opportunity to sit in on a sales call with someone, or you have an opportunity to pick someone's brain, always do that. Number 3, on that thought of picking someone's brain, the real value you get out of an internship is the relationships. It's the people that you meet. It's the people that you work for. And I was telling this to my, a friend of mine that's in school still. He's about to be a senior. He's got a gig, and I was telling him, it's not about you want to see if you like the company, you want to see if you like the gig for sure. But what it's really about is trying to prove to yourself and prove to the other people that you are valuable, and have that person that you worked for and the people you worked with be spokesmen and spokeswomen for you, and be referrals for you, and say, wow, that kid came in here for 12 weeks and he busted his or her ass. He was making phone calls. He was doing this. He was doing that. And build relationships, ask them if they want to get lunch or a coffee, or, make something happen. Try the boss or the VP or your other interns or anyone that you meet. Remember if you walk by someone or you meet someone and they say that they're going to the Red Sox game on Thursday, and if you see them on Friday, ask them how the game was. They talk about their kid, ask them how the Little League's going the next time you see them. Build relationships. People will remember that, and they'll say, wow, that intern's pretty sharp. So build the relationships up. You can call in and ask around after the gig, and maybe you have a favor to ask in, but build relationships. Do something for people. And the 4th, this is the most important thing ever, is just you got to work hard, and you got to be good at what you do. I had Yogi Roth on the podcast for an interview. He's coming in a few weeks, but he said he was one of the assistant coaches at USC for football as part of his master's program, and for a year, all they let him do was staple papers together. But he said, I was going to be the best fucking stapler of all time. Right in the corner, 1 inch by 1 inch, just perfect staples every time. And you take that to everything. How you do something is how you do everything. So the small things become all things. All these quotes. Do it with passion. If you're going to do the database work, be the best fucking database worker that you can be. And you got to be bold and go for it. When I was at Tech Target, said I want to work there. I've told this story before on the podcast, but I'll tell it again real quick. Knocked on the CEO's door. Said, I need 5 minutes. And he said, nah. Or he gave me the 2 minutes. So he said, hey, I got 2 minutes. We ended up talking for 45 minutes because I said I wanted the job, and I was telling him I was being passionate. I was telling him why I deserved it and what I've done, and we ended up shooting the shit about tennis and all this other stuff. So go out there, make it happen, add value to whatever organization or company or opportunity that you take it to. Try something new, get some good experience, meet some people, get relationships, and if the spot's right for you, fucking go for it. If it's not, at least you have someone that's going to have your back if you want to go somewhere else and you ask for a referral. So those are my tips for the interns out there. It's a beautiful time. You're going to be back in school soon enough, having a grand old time. Don't, believe me on that. But for the summer, a couple weeks, 8 weeks left, get your work in, get it done, have a great time. Everyone else, Let's have a killer Monday. Let's have the best Monday in the history of Mondays. Out.